Hey guys, what's up? My name's Vic Taylor and welcome to episode 51 of my Request Anything in Black Ops series, which is actually the final episode. I know that I've closed submissions for Black Ops and Modern Warfare 3 is just around the corner, and I will be reopening submissions for that. And that hopefully will be good, baby. I really am looking forward to it. So for this last episode, the person who requested this loadout is 07 Orton Ja, and it's the FN file with Reflex, Tomahawk, Concussion, Lightweight Pro, Sleight of Hand Pro, and Ninja. I end the game 35-6, and I do hope you enjoy it. For what I'm going to be talking about today, it is another kind of add-on to the violence thing that I discussed a couple of videos back. I actually said at the beginning that I was just going to discuss killing as well, but I got slightly wrapped up in my opinions and where I actually stood, so I didn't have time. But today I am going to talk about killing, if it is ever justified, etc, etc. As always, it is only my opinion. Please do not be offended by it. I am not meaning to put my opinion across as fact, and if you have anything to raise, please be polite about it, but I would absolutely love to discuss it with you. The disclaimers are getting shorter and shorter. I'm basically just relying on your intelligence, so, because you're awesome, and I really hope that I can do that. But violence, murder, it's kind of in the same vein, but I have a much stronger opinion on the actual killing thing, which is a bit weird, seeing as killing is much more serious than violence. I mean, for a violent crime, you can go to prison for, 15 years. For a killing, a murder, is life, which is, I think, 30 years, which is probably not actually life. I mean, technically, but we're not here to discuss that. We're not here to discuss prison and police and all that fun shit. We're here to discuss murder. When is murder justified? Probably some of you are thinking it is never justified, and if you think that, please tell me your reasons, and I will do my best to think about them and see if I can assimilate them into my own opinions, etc, etc. Assimilate, I sound like the Borg. Yeah, I'm going to cut off one of your arms as well and sew it onto my body. I want an arm for each of my ribs. I'm sorry, I don't know. But murder, when it's in protection of someone you love. Now, this is also a bit of a grey area, because someone you love, it can either be a family member, such as a child. I'm sure that a lot of you don't have children, a lot of you are too young, but think of a parent or something. If someone was holding a knife to your mother's throat, and they offered you whether, I presume it's a he would either kill your mother or you would kill him. He obviously wouldn't offer you this because he's not an idiot, but looking at the situation like that, would you take it? I know I would, and I think a great many people would, and if you wouldn't, I would really like to see your justification and arguments in the comments down below. But also, maybe for your country, killing because you love your country. And that is something that I am very strong about. I'm strident. I know that I could kill for my country. And it was actually something that I was discussing with my mother, who is basically my philosophical partner for these kind of things. I always run everything by her before I bring them to you, because she can find out the bits in my opinions where I'm being an absolute moron and fix them for me. But if you were in the army, I know that several of my subscribers are planning to go into the army, and all props to you. I really respect you for that. You are the best that this world and society has to offer. You really are. But if you were faced with the possibility of having to kill a child, I mean, you had killed adults, you were fine with killing adults, but if you were faced with a child walking towards you with an AK-47, a gun, a bomb, etc., would you kill the child to save yourself, to save the people in your unit or under your command? And I thought about it, and I honestly could not come up with an answer. Because you can't really come up with an answer for those heavy types of situations until you are actually faced with them. And I hope that I am never faced with such a decision, because killing a child is something that you should never have on your conscience. But what my inner self says, and I'm not sure that a lot of you will like, is that to serve my country, I may very well be able to kill a child. And it doesn't sound right coming out of my mouth at all. It sounds completely wrong, because my moral code is always to never kill someone who is defenseless, and I view children as being defenseless. But if that that child is threatening the life of you and the people you love. They are threatening your country. I'm going off the assumption that the child is here by choice as well, because that's a whole nother moral compass. What if the child is, forced into it? But if a child is walking towards you and your fellow soldiers with a bomb, and unless you kill that child, then your men are all going to die, what would you do? It sounds like it should be an easy decision. You save your men. But it isn't an easy decision, and that is why so many people actually use children. And I think that is the real person, or the real people who are despicable in this. You should never use a child to do your dirty work. You should never strap a bomb to a defenceless child who's 12, 13 years old and send them into a war zone with a bomb or a gun and expect them to do your dirty work. That is the work of true cowards, and it is absolutely pathetic. I can't put it across in words. It's just disgusting. It's amazing that some people will do this, because it doesn't matter. Soldiers, obviously it does matter, but soldiers have the choice to be there. They know 100% what they're getting into, the risks that they're taking. They know that they could die out there. But you take a 12-year-old kid, you put him into a war zone with a gun or a bomb, and where do you get your moral justification for that? I don't think you get it at all. I've gone slightly off track, but I do not understand that at all. That is where war stops taking precedence for me, when you see a kid in a war zone fighting. That's where war stops, and you having to take moral responsibility for your actions come in, because that's just sick. I'm sorry. But killing and everything. Murder, it can be justified, I believe, if you are protecting someone you love. Because, as I've said in the violence debate, sometimes you have to make a stand, sometimes you have to pull out all the stops and defend yourself and the people you love from all the bullshit that is out there in the world, and if you don't, no one else is going to. So I would kill for my family, readily. I would probably think twice about killing the child in the war zone, if I could actually go through with it, but I would not think twice about killing someone who is threatening my family. I couldn't think twice about it, to be perfectly honest. And that is one of the basic requirements. For anyone looking to go into the military in an active role, because I know that there are a lot of non-active roles in the military, even though any role in the military is just as good as any other role. But if you are going into the military in an active role where you are going to be put on the front lines, you can't just think about what you're going to do, like carrying a gun is cool, the pay of it, the sort of life. You have to think about whether you are actually prepared to kill someone. That is a discussion that I had in my head when I was 16 and I went to the recruitment office, and I found myself not lacking in any way whatsoever. I could kill for my family, and I am fully confident that I could also kill for my country. Because when you believe in something extremely, when you love something, you should be able to kill for it. That is my opinion, my belief. You should be able to, and that is probably a discussion that every single one of you who is going into the army in an active role have to have with yourself. Because otherwise you are going to be stuck out there, the short and shrift. And you don't want other people suffering because you weren't prepared to kill someone. Because that's what you're accepting when you go into the army in an active role. You're accepting that you have to kill. And that is not a bad thing in any way, shape or form. You are serving your country, you are doing your people proud. But you have to think about it. So I hope you enjoyed this commentary, and I will see you later, guys. Peace.